Why are people seemingly poorer than ever? Rising cost of living and stagnant wages. The reason that we are poorer than ever is basically exactly what you said. We are making huge amounts of money as a nation, but all of it is being funneled up, not down. Wages are not increasing, jobs do not allow for upward mobility, and bonuses and benefits are getting regularly slashed to cut costs for companies. Throw in a rising cost of living and you have the situation that we find ourselves in now, where despite the fact that we generate a colossal amount of wealth, most of our fellow citizens will not see any benefit from it. The problem is, the wages increase, but then, so does the cost of everything else in order to offset the extra expense. We will never ever be better off. In my eyes, the whole world needs to be reset, as when time progresses, things like say a chocolate bar costing $1 now, 10 years down the line may cost $3. Everything is proportionate, and the price rises are pure corporate greed and keeping the shareholders happy. What you have to remember is, prices are all made up by man, so they can easily be reduced, but again, everything is just pure greed. Inflation and increasing housing costs. Too many investors on the housing market is pushing the price up to ridiculous levels. In my country, a small studio is now easily €1,200 a month. Costs are higher, but income is stalled. You forgot to state what country you're talking about. Our doesn't mean anything on an anonymous internet forum. Because there is little tax on capital, mostly on labor. Because the wealth disparity is getting worse, the rich are getting richer, and the rest of us are getting poorer. The wealthy have rigged the system in their favor, and basically made it impossible for people in the lower brackets to climb that ladder. Everything is more expensive for the non-wealthy. For instance, they have legal tricks to hardly pay any taxes on the millions or billions they've made over each year. Even in the middle class, they tend to have to pay 30 to 50 of their income, while the rich pay in the single digits. Essentially, if you're poor, you are basically screwed and are doomed to stay poor and possibly get even poorer. At this point, the American dream is dead. Relevant video YouTube.Badeka 1WZ Legacy equals H or 3 Fu LRFSNCQ 38 equals 28. I think it's a lack of financial literacy and people not understanding the difference between needs and wants. I am disabled and live in extreme poverty in Canada, and TBH things might be more expensive due to inflation, but I am still not going without. Mind you, poverty means you don't have certain add-on expenses. There are 10 million of us that have always known Canada to be this way. When I hear my friends who make $50,000 that are needing food hampers, I am like, get out of here and give me your budget, let me see why you have no money. Also, I am never mad at the wealthy despite living in poverty. I don't get why people feel like they owe the general public something. I never feel I deserve a break at the expense of someone else's flourishing business. Some of Canada's most wealthy prop up charitable programs that would not exist without them, that people think just come from general public donations. I know not everyone sees it that way, not meaning offense to anyone who does see wealth as an issue. Cost and standard of living rose more than the wages. Also, I see my friends and family who have kids. The cost of raising a child is insane nowadays. Another troll post. Every effing day. Because, in large part, we're dealing with Ticketmaster in every facet of life. There's a very expensive toll booth between us and every transaction, and it's increasingly our fault. Hungry? Get a meal delivered at a 200% markup. Or grab something at a convenience store at 150% markup. Gotta get to work? Pay 2 or 3 hours income for an Uber. Need groceries? Pay someone to shop for you, someone who couldn't care less what's on sale. Instead of paying rent to a landlord, we're paying to a management company which gets a cut from both us and the landlord. We're giving all of our disposable income to these people and TV streamers and subscription radio and music services who pay pennies for content, then charge dollars for it. We're paying enormous tuitions to support big-time sports programs so billionaire team owners can get athletes fully trained and ready to play professionally without further investment. I could go on. Learn to cook, take the bus, go to community college, do your own shopping. Cut out these wealthy middlemen. Because citizens globally are getting scammed by inflation. An item in grocery stores that cost 99 cents 15 years ago sometimes goes for €5+ now. Wages didn't exactly increase 5-fold since then, go figure. For what I've seen and experienced, a few factors go into this. First, jobs say they are short-staffed, but never actually hire anyone, so the people who are actually showing up to work are getting burned out. Then they want to give menial raises 3, which doesn't even make a dent in this economy. When we get raises, prices go up yet again, which makes the raises meaningless. Also, if you're like me and you have a job that offers bonuses or incentives for picking up overtime, when they hand out a raise at the beginning of the year, They will drastically decrease overtime, bonuses, and incentives to save money. They want people to work the overtime, they just don't want to pay people any extra to do it, so now no one is picking up, and we're short-staffed. Also, everyone is making less money because the 3 raise is nothing compared to all the incentive pay we were getting. These corporations are evil. Inflation wouldn't be as bad RN if we could get paid enough to survive it. I need to make at least 4K a month as a single parent just to get by. Whoa, extras. Because you are incredibly privileged and don't know history or the lives of most people on the planet today. Who is we? No idea what country you're referring to. That is a secular view from a worker of the West. Poverty has been successfully diminished in the world than ever before in the last 20-30 years, especially China and India. Unfortunately, just the very rich people from the West and the third world countries benefit from this, not the majority worker from the West, so the world gets better on behalf of you. The golden age is over where the business owners had to pay their fair taxes. It has been a decade or two now. Politics today is influenced by unlimited donations from those businesses, who then lobby in favor of them and places the burden on common people. This did better the economy, but the fruits of labor do not go to the common people. All my friends are doing well. Not me personally, but I have external circumstances I have no control over. It's an inevitable direction of capitalism, unless it is reset by adequate taxation, that the majority of the wealth and assets gradually get held by a minority of the rich. Everyone else will just gradually be poorer.